Hi, I'm Wanda from Melinda Craft, and this is our Quilting Blocks channel. Now today we're going to be making the EQ quilt block, and this is the logo, as some of you may recognise, from the Electric Quilt Company. Now I've used 4 of these blocks to make a table runner, but you can use it in all sorts of patterns. This table runner pattern will be on the website where we'll give you the free pattern. So let's get on and show you how to do it. So I'm making a 10 by 10 inch finished block, and for that I need 2 squares of white measuring 5 by 5 and 2 squares of the main colour, which is my blue. They're also 5 by 5. Then I want 4 in my main colour, 3 by 3, and 4 in another contrasting colour, and they're also 3 by 3. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to take a piece of the white and I'm going to place it on top of my main fabric like that, and I'm going to do the same with the other piece, right sides together, and then I'm going to take it to the machine and line everything up nicely, and I'm going to take it to the machine and I'm going to sew it 1/4 inch all the way around. Now I'm just going to start and go off at the end, start here, come down this way and across and up. So I'll go and do that now. Okay, so you can see that I've sewn around each of these squares with a 1/4 inch seam, and now what I need to do is I need to cut them across like this, and I've got my rotating mat, which makes this so much easier. I love using this for making blocks, but you can use your table, but always remember that it's better if you can move around to make the second cut rather than turning your material. Okay, so I get my ruler and I lay it from corner to corner just like that and cut through, turn the mat, lay my ruler again from corner to corner, and I'll do exactly the same with the other piece. Now this is going to give me my half square triangles. I'll give them a press and I'll press the seam to the dark side, and when I've done that I'll end up with half square triangles that look like this. Now as you can see here, this is the untrimmed state, and you've got all of the bits hanging off, so they need to be trimmed down to 3 inches by 3 inches. So just to let you know what I mean by pressing to the dark side, or in my case to the blue side, what I do is I take my iron, I have the dark side of the material facing up, and I just place the iron on there to set that seam, and then open it up, open the square up, and just place the iron along that seam and give the square a good press. And as you can see, the seam is now lying nicely against the dark side. So all my blocks are neatly trimmed back to 3 inches by 3 inches, and now I'm going to sew them into rows. So what I'll do is I'll take this first square, lay it over that one, sew down here with a 1/4 inch seam, and I'll do exactly the same at this end. Then once those 2 lots are sewn together, I'll put them together to sew into a row, and I'll do that same process all the way down to the bottom row. Now I've sewn my little squares into rows, and I thought I'd just show you how I press the rows before we go any further. So I've pressed all the top row this way, and then the next row in the opposite direction, the opposite and the opposite. And this will mean that your rows will nest nicely together when you come to join them. I'll just turn those over. Okay, so what we're going to do next is we'll take the top row, put it over the second row, and we'll join this and pin it. But you can see here what I was saying about how the rows will now fit nicely together because your seams are facing in opposite directions. So I'll sew this along with a 1/4 inch seam, being careful not to pick any of these up with your sewing foot. And then I'll sew the bottom 2 rows together. Again, they nest nicely. And then I'll sew all of those rows in the middle, and that'll make my block. And here is the finished block. So if you've enjoyed this tutorial, hit that like button and subscribe to our channel to support us. You can also follow us on Facebook and Pinterest. And don't forget to share our video with your friends.